on X and Twitter. So I'm just going to record this meeting and then we can get moving. Awesome. So hello, everybody. Got a great session for you this week. Tonight, Wednesday and Thursday, and we're going to be going through the growth model. Now, you can access this on YouTube and in the Facebook, the Growth Engine community as well. And it's a free training to allow you to get into a growth mindset. So I'm going to give you some practical examples just to really drive this home. And honestly, just to get it out there as well for you all to access and learn and get value and your own growth action plans from it as well. So this is a model that I've created. It's called task efficiency versus ability, relationships, and knowledge. And when abbreviated, it forms the TEvARK. That's something that I've created. I've personally used it for my own personal growth and development. I've used it and implemented it for my people's personal growth and development through a mentorship program that's got them promotions and everything else. And I've also used it and adopted it for business growth as well. So it's a very versatile model that you're able to understand where your current baseline is, establish a line of sight from the starting point to your vision, your growth goal, and understand which tasks you need to make more efficient to increase your ability, relationships, and knowledge in order for you to meet those growth goals. So I'm just going to check to make sure TikTok is streaming live. And TikTok seems to be working well. So we're streaming now on through Zoom, but we're also going out on LinkedIn, YouTube, on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also through TikTok as well. All going out live this evening, tomorrow, and on Thursday evening as well. So let's jump in. If you stay till the end, you'll be able to see the punchline, which allows you to see exactly how you can continually grow in terms of your own personal growth goals. And then you'll be able to see how this is applicable in your own businesses, but also to bring your own people and apprentices and everybody else who you work with on the journey as well. So let's start from your current position. So if I was to adopt this model myself, so task efficiency versus ability, relationships, and knowledge. You have to establish a starting point to understand where you're at right now and where you want to go to. That's the very beginning of the growth journey and adapting a growth mindset, is understanding exactly what's on the table today. And you can really have some great fun with this, and you're able to understand exactly where you're at right now and put in place growth goals that you might not have thought were achievable unless you adopt this model. So today, what we're going to establish is a baseline. Baseline. You can put in whatever you want in there. For me, if I was to put it in for my own personal growth, I might add in my current salary. I might add in my current job title. I might add in, for example, relationships. So I'm married. I've got 2 children. For example, if you're single, a growth goal of yours might be to be unsingle moving forward. So you can add whatever you want in here to kind of give yourself a baseline from where you want to get to. If it's a promotion that you want at work, if it's to learn how to ski, if it's to learn to speed read, if it's to ensure that you're setting regular targets, is it a new target you've set yourself that you want to baseline where you're at right now to understand how you're going to achieve this goal. Me personally, I'm actually doing a new bit of development. So I'm going to put L&D in here. Where I'm at right now, I've got an MBA, I've got 3 charters with the Association of Mergers, Acquisitions and Alliances. I'm a full member of the Association of Project Managers. Growth goal of mine could be to become a fellow, for example. So you can really put in place exactly where you're at right now and fill this baseline up. So L&D, so I can put in here currently MBA, IMAA. I can put in, I train every work day. So I train 5 times a week. So let's just put fitness as an example, times 5, so 5 days. Maybe you want to increase that to 6. Maybe you've set yourself a goal to run a half marathon in 6 months. Maybe you set yourself a goal even further to do a triathlon or an Ironman. You can put all of your current status in terms of what it is you want to achieve in your current baseline. So, for example, if I want to run a half marathon, I'm currently maybe clocking 10Ks or maybe 20Ks running per week. So I want to increase that, obviously, over intervals and put in place a training program. So then you start to understand which tasks I need to make more efficient to enable to fit in the extra training, to be able to fit in the extra learning, to be able to do a bit more at work so that I can get that salary increase or get that promotion. Who do I need to meet? Who do I need to develop relationships with? How much knowledge do I need to increase? How will those combined increase my ability to demonstrate that I'm worthy of getting that promotion, salary increase, meeting that qualification test grade, achieving those fitness goals, achieving those perhaps some form of well-being or physical activity in terms of your current position in terms of how you feel in yourself. So establish a current baseline from today. Write down things in here that you're happy with and also that you want to improve on. And that's very, very important because we're going to establish a line of sight from your current baseline today to where you want to get to over time. So what else did I put in? What do I put in here for these for my current baseline? So I put in my current qualifications, current development activities and development goals, salary, job title. For example, business, you know, I might put in here my business turnover. I might put in here time I spend with my family, actually. So time I spend with my family, I'm here live at 7 o'clock in the evening, UK time, and I'll be here live tomorrow and on Thursday. So that's time I'm not spending with my family. And so perhaps, maybe not with these sessions, but perhaps there is some things that I can make more efficient in order to spend more time with my family, which allows me to continue doing these lives for you all, and so on and so on. So let's put there business. Let's put family time. And that can be a number of hours. It can be a day. It can be a weekend. You can put in there if you're currently working weekends. You can put in there if you're currently working shifts and you're sick of it. Anything in terms of what's going on in terms of your lifestyle that you're happy with or you want to improve, put it in the baseline with a mind of what you want to focus on in terms of your goals. And that's why we call it a baseline, because we're going to establish the why next, once you've understood your current position. The reason why we establish the why after the baseline is because there might be some things in your current position that relate directly to your goals that you know then you want to make more efficient. So establish a baseline. This is personal growth. So from where you're at right now, in terms of your own personal development and personal growth, your mindset, perhaps you want to eat more healthily, you want to train more regularly, you want to spend more time with your family, you might want to not work as many hours at work, you might want to stop doing shifts. So these are the things that you can add into your baseline. So next is to understand the why. Now, this really isn't a cliche. This is something that you can make very, very, very tangible. I've called it why, but this is your growth goal. So this is your vision for the future. And the reason why we make this tangible is because you're going to understand exactly what the tangible activities and circumstances and experiences are going on in your life today that you want to grow from to become the better you to achieve this vision. So, for example, in my vision, I put things like family time, and you can have great fun with this. I'm going to put in learn to sail. You can be very creative. You can cut things out of a magazine. For example, if you want to own a Rolex, if you want to learn to fly, why not? You can add in all of this information. So we'll just put a nice big circle around that. You can add in learn to sail, learn to fly. You can put in marathon if you want to run a marathon. You can put new house, for example. We'll draw a picture of a house. Here, put new house, NH. You can add in all kinds of things that you want to achieve in terms of your own personal growth for you, your family, your relatives. And I use relatives as a word when we're talking about personal growth in terms of stakeholders. Relatives can be your blood relatives. They can also be anyone who can relate to your personal circumstances in order for you to grow, in order for you to move on. So a relative can be someone at work. A relative could be your best friend. You can have, of course, blood relatives, but the people around you are the people who you can relate to them and they can relate to you in terms of moving from your baseline to achieving your own growth goal and your own personal vision. That's very important when we come on to the next part of the growth model and the task efficiency versus ability, relationships, and knowledge. So you've set yourself a baseline from today. You've put in place your growth goals in terms of your vision as to what you want to achieve and where you want to go. Now it's time to put a SMART objective onto each of these tasks. So we've established the why. We've understood the baseline. Now we need to understand when. And this is an action plan. So it is advisable to put a timeline on it. Now, you might say 12 months. You might say 2 years. You might say 5 years. A lot of people have 5-year visions. A lot of people have 1-year visions and they can track them every quarter or every month. You can have a 1-year vision to run a marathon, and you can adopt this same model. But going back to the baseline, you need to ensure that your baseline is relative to the growth goals that you want to achieve. That's where we come to the SMART objectives. So you make these SMART, and for this growth goal, it means specific, measurable, achievable, relative, and time-bound. There are some variations for A and R. You can have assignable, you can have realistic and relevant. Here I've chosen relevant because you need to ensure that your baseline is relevant to your growth goal and vice versa, because these are the tasks you're going to make more efficient in order to increase your ability, relationship, and knowledge in order to meet that goal. So it needs to be SMART. It needs to be specific. So you're going to make these things specific. I'm going to own a Rolex in 12 months' time, and I'm going to do that by ensuring that I earn more money, I managed to get a promotion. I managed to have more clients. I managed to increase pricing. I managed to save my own money in order to achieve that goal. It's relevant to the baseline because I don't own a Rolex anymore, and it's time bound. So we're going to put 5 years on this, or we'll say 2 or 5 years. Okay, and that's your SMART goal. Okay, so you've put the vision of your objectives as to what you want to achieve around here. And the reason why I've drawn them around here is because we're going to create the line of sight now. So from the baseline, you're never going to lose sight of where you're at today and where you want to get to in terms of your timed goal. You know that they're specific, you can measure success by achieving them or not. You know that they're achievable because you're going to assign the task efficiency versus ability relationship and knowledge in these 2 sections. And this creates a V, which is why I called it the TEvARK. Task efficiency. Versus ability, relationships, and knowledge. Okay. Okay, so now this line of sight from this baseline, you can now start to add in here which tasks you need to make more efficient in order to increase your ability, relationship, and knowledge. And you add in here what ability, relationship, and knowledge that you want to increase. And you can do that by asking the 6 questions, the 7 questions. The 7th is how much. We can come on to that in a second. So we've already asked 2 of them. The 7 questions are why, always at the beginning. We've asked when, because we've added a timeline. Now, you can start to ask what needs to be made more efficient and what, in terms of ability, relationship, and knowledge, needs to be increased when you make your tasks more efficient. Who? Which relationships do you need to build? If you want to learn how to sail, if you want to learn how to fly, if you want to buy a new house, if you want to get into property development, if you want to generate passive income through serviced accommodation, if you want to learn a new skill, if you want to achieve a new qualification, if you want a promotion at work, anything goes in terms of your vision. Your network will get you there. And likely they will get you there quicker than you would have gotten there without them. Believe me. And again, come back to your relatives. So your own personal blood relatives, your own family, but your relatives are the people who come in close to you, or you need to bring closer to you, that can relate to what it is you want to achieve. And that's when you need to ask who. How will come next. So if you remember the PMO, 24-hour PMO videos, the who will give you more information on the how. They'll also tell you what to do in some regard as well. And you'll need to ensure that you take that on board as to how best it works for you. But once you've got your own SMART goals that you want to achieve at a certain time, you understand who you have around you or who you need to bring in closer to you for your own personal growth goals. You'll be more informed as to how that is possible. Okay, and where. where in terms of geographical location, but also in terms of location within your own business, in terms of location within your own environment as well. So, for example, if you want to learn how to, if you're running a marathon again, we'll go back to a fitness goal. If you've got a fitness goal, where do you need to go? Where do you need to get to? Because that's very important, not only in terms of logistics, but do you need to plan for being in a certain place regularly at the right time? And again, you don't need to make an industry out of these. You just need to ask these questions in order for you to complete this these two halves of the model. So you will be able to add in which tasks that are taking too long, or which tasks you need to make more efficient. Maybe you need to delegate them. Maybe you need to stop doing them. And that's a really good point. If there are some tasks that don't add any value or contribution to your growth goals, then you should question why it is you're doing them in the first place. And so as you move forward through time, even if you just make that initial step to make one task more efficient in order to achieve one growth goal, you've then increased your ability, relationship, and knowledge, because you understand the line of sight for your why. You understand when you want to achieve that goal. You know what it is you need to make more efficient, what ability, relationships, and knowledge you need to increase. You've brought your relatives, your stakeholders in closer to you, who made you more informed as to how you should do it, and you know where you need to be at the right time. So in terms of your task efficiency, if you just make that one step, then you're already growing, okay? You're already making that one step to growth. Again, you move forward in time to make some more task efficiencies. So you've then made the next step forward to growth. And again, and so on, until all of a sudden you're meeting your growth goals in terms of the steps to move forward. Now, I'll give you a real example. And it was for I was doing an MBA. I was traveling with work. I wanted a promotion. I wanted to take my family on holiday. I wanted to earn a certain amount of money. So here, another good one, pay rise. Let's go for pay rise as well. And I wanted to grow my own network within the organization I was working in, but also outside of the organization. So guess what went in the baseline? So I put network. And I think everyone should have their network in their baseline in order to grow their network to achieve certain goals. And needless to say, you should ensure that you're paying it forward to your network as well. So I knew that I needed to make certain tasks more efficient. So what did I do? I got up super early and I was in the office really early. I knew what my current baseline was, what needed to be achieved in work for me to be able to go, is there anything else that I can do? And I always ensured that I was in early. I completed as much of my day job as possible because that was in my baseline. And I knew if I could make that really efficient, I had enough time to increase my ability, relationships, and knowledge. I had enough time to study. I had enough time to network with my study group, my alumni. I had enough time to be able to build relationships with senior people within the organization. I had enough time to build relationships with their peer group as well. And so understanding the current baseline and needing to know which tasks to make more efficient, I knew how that was made possible. But as I increased my network, I was more informed as to the how in terms of meeting my study goals. So the more I built my relationships with my study group, the better I was to achieving my MBA. I knew that building relationships within my organization, making my tasks more efficient in order to get there on time and making my day job more efficient, that I was able to take on more work and achieve promotions and more internal referrals and things like that as well. I set a 5-year vision and I achieved everything I set in that 5-year vision. I got my MBA, I got a promotion, I was able to spend time with the family, I set myself fitness goals, and I grew my network as well. And they were just some of the things I added in to my personal growth goal, my personal growth vision. Now, what you've got is something incredibly powerful. This isn't manifesting. This part is manifesting. This part is understanding factually where you're at right now. And this part is building your action plan. So you know tangibly that these growth goals, that if you'd have just put them on paper like this, you'd have thought, learn to fly. I'm not going to, you know, you could put on there travel to Mars, maybe not in 5 years, put on there 20 years travel to Mars, you know, in terms of building your ability, relationships and knowledge. It's not beyond anyone to be able to fulfill those growth goals. But let's bring it back. Let's say learn to fly. So in terms of your task efficiency, what do you need to make sure that your tasks is more efficient? So you'll have some form of occupation. You maybe have a family, or you'll have friends or a current network that you're spending time with. In terms of starting right from scratch, that you don't know, let's just say we've just come to this second in terms of today. For me, I've got nothing in my baseline that would be relevant to learning how to fly, but it's something that I want to do. So I'm starting to think, well, I'm going to need lessons. So where do I need to go for lessons? Well, I've got an airport, Teesside Airport. They might not do flying lessons there, but if I go and talk to someone, there'll be some form of institution that I'll be directed to by someone there. You know, they'll tell me how that I need to make that possible. And then in terms of what I need to do to increase my ability, relationship and knowledge will probably be on a website in an institution, and a nice little contact us box or an email or a phone number that I can ring up and I can say, I'm interested in learning to fly and I want to do it in 2 years. It doesn't seem that impossible now at all. In fact, I might put that on there moving forward. So you've established a clear action plan in terms of where you're at right now, the line of sight to your smart goals that you want to achieve in your own personal growth, what tasks you need to make more efficient, and therefore what ability, relationships and knowledge can you increase in order for you to grow in order for you to grow personally. And this is your staircase to growth. You've made your tasks more efficient versus your ability, relationships and knowledge. Then, guess what? Let's have some more fun. So we have now put in place a staircase for you to be able to grow from baseline up to your current vision. So have you noticed that these look like a miniature version of this? Okay, that's on purpose. So it not only creates a V, not only task efficiency versus ability, relationship and knowledge. These aren't just diagrams and PowerPoints and what have you. This is a real model that you can use. Personal growth, business growth, and your own people within your business or within people around you. You can adopt this framework. Once you've achieved certain goals here, you might get to here, where your tasks are so efficient that you've got so much ability, relationships, and knowledge. Guess what you've created? You've created a new baseline. a new baseline that you can then put in place again, task efficiencies versus abilities, relationships and knowledge. As your relationships grow, your knowledge will increase and your ability will increase in combination. So you've now got a new baseline there. You've got a new baseline there. You've got a new baseline there. And you've got a new baseline there. Baseline, 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 baseline. This could be year 1, 2, 3, 4, and these could be individual years, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got, if this is over 5 years, then this could be year 5. You've got year 1, 2, 3, 4. If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see a clear path to growing in terms of your own personal growth and what it is you want to achieve. So that's how you can absolutely put in place a clear vision. So definite purpose, plan for the future, and core values if you wanted to adopt that. It's smart because it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable because you know which tasks you need to make more efficient to increase your ability, relationships, and knowledge. It's relevant to your current baseline and it's timed over time. Once you've achieved your first few or all of your goals, then you can re-baseline and come back to, because you'll have a new today. You come back to your baseline and then you can see how these grow over time. All right, so that's been quite a quick session. You've been able to adopt this model, and the training is free within Facebook Growth Engine community and on YouTube and the Ian Smith group, where it takes you through step by step to adopt the growth model. And it allows you to get in that frame of mind to ensure that whilst you're putting in place smart goals for yourself, for your business, or for your people, if you baseline where you're at now, and you understand from the baseline the line of sight, and don't ever lose the line of sight from your current baseline to where your growth goals are, you then are able to establish which tasks you make more efficient to increase your ability, relationships, and knowledge. And as they grow, they in turn will allow you to make your tasks more efficient because you will grow as well in terms of your ability, and so on and so on. Once you've achieved your vision and your growth goals, you re-baseline, and then you're able to establish from that baseline, which is all of this now in here, which again, tasks you need to make more efficient, increase your ability, relationship, and knowledge. So if you think in terms of promotion, if you achieve that promotion, you've taken your current job description, and we're giving you a sneak peek into the next few sessions as well. Current job description, objectives, KPIs, maybe you've got some SLAs in there as well. Maybe you've got some achievements in terms of sales targets and things like that. Baseline it, and then understand which tasks are preventing you from hitting your growth goals in terms of meeting a promotion or a bonus, or being able to buy that Rolex, or taking the family on holiday, or being able to give you some time back to go and learn how to fly. Increase your ability, relationships, and knowledge, track it, and then once you hit the mother load, you get that bonus, you buy that Rolex, you go on holiday with the family. When you get back off holiday, start from the next promotion. So now you're king of the world or queen of the world, and you can re-baseline that and say, I want to be king, queen of the universe. New vision goals. From now being promoted to king of the world, it looks like this, or queen of the world, it looks like this. This is my new job description. So we'll baseline that, and I'll think of how I can make those tasks more efficient to increase my ability, relationships, and knowledge, and carry on up the staircase of growth. By all means, send me some questions through LinkedIn, through YouTube. If you subscribe and like and put on the notifications button on YouTube, you'll get a notification as to when these are uploaded. You can follow me on TikTok, on X, formerly known as Twitter, and on Facebook as well. So I will see you tomorrow night, where we cover the TEvARK model for your own business. following the same principles of understanding your current position, which tasks you need to make more efficient, that contribute directly to you meeting your growth goals, and what ability, relationships, and knowledge do you need to increase in order for you to make your task more efficient, in order for you to increase ability, relationships, and knowledge, and meet growth goals, and so on and so forth. So by all means, send some questions through. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll speak to you all again tomorrow evening on the 18th.